changing election data, and
Hey, right before you jump to that,
Yeah.
on the data input side, I
Uh-huh.
know you want to do this quickly. But
yeah, sure.
So, was this mostly used internally, or was this?
It's totally internally.
Totally.
That's why it's very ugly. So yeah, so that was an internal use. Actually, Moroccan have hired 12 data clerks.
Mhm.
And their job was to enter the data and like on a daily basis, all the protocols,
Yep.
we call them PV,
Yep.
and they have it in paper formats,
Yep.
and they just enter it. And then we have we have exported the files into GSOC API, and then we converted them to CSV.
Sure. And what kind of error checking?
Error checking, we
Yeah.
have double.
Did you do a
Yeah.
double entry?
We have had double entry, and then automatically with the Python script, we have to check every entry if it's the same or not.
Cool.
We didn't have lots of statistics to just get the same error twice, but
Right.
we tried to change the people who do the
Sure,
submission
sure.
to make sure that.
Did you, at the end of the day, were able to basically sum it up so that it equaled the high-level numbers the election commission was providing as well, or?
The election commission, we haven't entered all the data because the
Okay.
election commission didn't publish all the papers.
Yeah.
So was it?
Yes, they, if you see their website, they seem that they are published, but when we try to download, some of them don't, we cannot open these files.
Okay.
So for them, till now they say that they publish it all, and this is one of the means to ask them that it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
And we tried also to compare what we found with their.
So this small subject brings us to like something that Democracy International has been doing the last 3 years through Lebanon, Tunisia, and Egypt, is to try to open up data and make data as the infrastructure of decision or infrastructure for the web applications like the application that Rafiq has presented. And we're trying to decouple from the data producers, which is us for now, and the data consumers, like people who are going to be consuming this data. We have put for them the data in formats, like I say here, data packages. Like we have this data, and you can just search for wherever data NCA results, and you have here NCA election results, and it loads with the license. All our data is public domain licenses. So we not even attribution or anything. Anyone can grab the files in here. Here there is the NCA results for download. Like you can download the file, and here there is a README file, which is actually taken from the GitHub repository, which is here. So here is the repository with the data package. The data package specification is from the Open Knowledge Foundation specification. So we just try to do their same projects from frictionless data. So we have data package, and it can be downloaded the same way. It's the same way you download the package in NPM package. Sorry for the Chinese, and it's over. And yeah, so we have all our data packages, and we have shared here the awesome work of the ever amazing Khalid. So we have the infographics that Mark has done through their work for the elections, and they have published it, and it has been of great use for different stakeholders, not just Mark. So we have all their publications.
We use it for advocacy.
Yeah, they use it for advocacy. And so the black parts are just pictures that are loading.
Mm-hmm.
So and we have for the training, and we have all the data here. And the idea is to have a small place which is a hub for election data, for students maybe to get the data, and for And I'm not gonna repeat the same stuff. Maybe I will repeat showing some maps, but it's not about showing the maps or how beautiful the maps is, but it's about getting the data packages, getting data in a meaningful way and in an easy way for other people to understand, and publishing it in an easy way to find also, and having the data to be used in other applications. So what else I'm gonna present? Let's go to the presidential elections. So this is this visualization is loading data is the output. It's the first try of the output for the data entry project. So the data that we had entered from the presidential approximately 60 minutes. Thanks. That's gonna be helpful. Anyway, the data that we had entered with Mark Boone is plotted here in the map, and everyone just can search their. For example, I'm using the same example. I'm gonna say, so you search the polling center, and you have the results that we scraped. That's candidate vote share registered, valid and cancelled, blank ballots cast. It's the same thing for let's keep in the presidential here, and it's also some statistics. Let's think. So it's on the polling center level of the turnout by gender. So the pink color is male color, just to avoid the problems with gender. And the green one is the female voter turnout is higher than male voter turnout. And as you can see, it's the male voter turnout is the predominant aspect of this map.
It's not Lebanon.
It's not what?
It's not Lebanon.
Lebanon. No, if this is politically
Not
correct to
yet.
say for me. Anyway, so we have another map about this. It's also mainly an experimenting about the open source tools we're using, mainly Mapbox for map hosting and also the Mapbox Studio for maps creation. And this is an example of a heat map. Usually heat maps are made to present like how a number of entities in the place. So this is turnout among young voters, and young voters are this age group is between 18 and 31 years old. So as you can see, maybe probably here in this map, it looks like there is a good voter turnout among young voters, but if we go to the map of old voter turnout, and old voter turnout is also over 41 years old, you can see that there is difference. Also, there are in the teaser there are some data about the zone chosen. So you have the percentage of, for example, here in École Première in Schierschool. Turnout, the percentage of Schierschool,
It's map, it's
yeah. So the school name is hot. So the percentage of voter age between 18 and 30 years old is 20% around, and the older than 41 years old is 61%. And sorry for those older than 41, I got you on that age group. And so we have results by candidates. So it's mainly the same maps as in the previous examples. So here we have, for example, we have Béjapat Sipsi, and as you can see that Béjapat Sipsi has the main votes in the northern and coastal area of Tunisia. And if you see
Is the circle showing the percentage?
Yeah.
Or is it showing
well,
just the number of votes?
it's
No,
the percentage.
Okay.
So we're gonna see it in the other candidates, which is
Okay.
here.
Now
For
you can
each
do more.
candidate, there's specific mark?
Specific? No, it's percentage. So if you sum the two percentages, 100%. So maybe this map is useless because it's the exact opposite of the other. So but here you can see that most of Marzouki as candidate, he has a very good support in the south, around 80% in all the south. And he didn't win, so probably the south doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So,
Sorry.
Let me go back for
Yeah.
a second. So, there's a lot of tricks around how do you display the information to tell a good story. And the
Yeah.
issue with this one is that it doesn't take into account population. And so somebody who's a supporter would look at this and say, hey, wait a minute, we got all this high percentage of the
Yeah.
vote. But you're right, those in the South, there's nobody there. So 85% of nobody
Yeah.
is still nobody.
Oh.
And so the other problem though that people do is to use choropleth, where they just fill in the whole
Yeah.
section, and that makes the mistake of attributing a size to importance, which isn't always the case. So you have these big areas in the bottom that are all purple. And they're like, why didn't the purple candidate win? Well, there's nobody that lives there just because they're big areas. And in fact, in political geography, it's often the case that the bigger shapes have fewer people. And the small shapes have big people. So using a shade can actually give the wrong idea. So
How do you think we should do it?
what you might do is, I think you had the right idea. You have two things here. You have the actual number, and then you have the circle. So you could keep the number as the percentage.
Yeah, and do
But
this.
have the circle be the absolute, so you can see where the votes actually come from. And you either use color or the number itself to show where is this candidate strong, the percentage of the vote, but use the size to show the absolute number of votes in a way that tells that whole story.
Okay. That's a good point. And there are lots of other maps, many results by candidates, and through the 2 rounds, turnout statistics. So this is also apparently. So and we have the legend where the turnout in the second round is less by 5% than the first round. So mainly the north, there is less turnout than in the second round than the first round. In the south, there is more turnout than the second round. And we can also assume that the southern supporters of Moscow Marzouki went just to support him more, in the north supporters of Bishop and Sepsi or not didn't go as often as in as many as in the first round. And I mean, it's all the same maps and like another gender map about the seat won in the parliamentary by gender, like the percentage of seat won by male candidates and female candidates, and where these candidates come from. I mean, another party or Nida Atmas party or another party. And I think I took too much time, so I'm gonna just jump to something else, just quick, that I really like, and it's the Egypt election data, which is another project of Democracy International, and where we have just that's the screen size. And so we have, and where we just try to present the data in a different way, and where we have the data was published by the Election Commission in a better way. So it was very, very clear, and they already published it in CSV and Excel files. So you already have the figures and the percentages, and if you just go to like around to turnout, you can see the turnout variation, ballot votes, and I think it's a little bit more visual here, and the screen size doesn't make it look, because normally it would be on 4 columns, not just 2. But here you have all like the Morsi votes, and you can download as usual the data and the formats that we talked about, CSV or you have also formatted data in Excel, and here you have the difference between Morsi and Shafi, and the detailed data here. And if you want to go another level, you just go to the other level of blog post, and here is the referendum results, first referendum results, and again a map showing. This is gonna be quick, just maybe one at a time we present it, but it's for that showcase the work that we've been doing, and we didn't launch this website before. Maybe we will launch it. We have updated it with the presidential election for 2014, and we have referendum results for 2014. Of course, no opinion about it. So, and here we have also the turnout during the referendum and the usual data about the valid votes, voters, and yes percentage, no percentage, and the detailed results by districts. And yeah, this one is also Arabic. Come on, work. Yeah, it's gonna work. Oh, it didn't. It's Arabic. Yeah, anyway. And let's see. That's it.
Bravo.